Welcome back, Shop Rats. Today we got all kind of stuff going on. We dug the 440 out for the Challenger to get it moved off of this stand onto a heavier stand, and we're going to put the 413 on this stand. And we've reorganized the entire back room. And I don't know about you, but I'm tired. And it's what, 9 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
So we worked till about 8 o'clock last night, storing a drill press for Chris. So I'm glad to be of service.
Thank you for storing.
I will test it regularly and make sure that it works for you so that if you ever need it, you know it's good.
I know where it is. I know it's been exercised.
Good deal. All right, well, let's watch the show intro. We'll see you in about 5 seconds. I'm Mike. This is Chris. Yep, this is My Car Shop.
This is My Car's Shop.
We've been cleaning, but if you remember what this area was like, it was a disaster. And last night we blew a hole through the wall here, and I'll insert that video here. We almost got a door.
You know, we could slap some hinges on it before those nails come loose.
At this point, I don't think it matters. Chris, let's just get a hammer or pry bar and bang it out of there.
I got a flat bar in the car.
Yeah, I think there's one in the other shop over there. So. And so we have access to this end of the barn now from this room here up the stairs. But we got all the engines organized and a set of shelves back here with some of the heads on it. And we still have more stuff than we have space, but it's a big step forward in just getting a handle on things. And if the weather holds out today, we're going to try to put a new roof on that building there where all the steel is stored for the chassis table and the golden mullet, because it's got huge holes in it. But it's going to be touch and go with the weather. But anyway, this is what we've been up to. So let's go swap those motors around, and then we can wheel those back here and get them out of the main shop.
And we can start on the bolts.
Yeah, this is a 750-pound engine stand, and this engine probably weighs 600 pounds. These cast iron manifolds on it alone probably weigh 300.
Okay. Well, it's not coming up off that board in the front, but
that's
picking
fine.
the wheels up, so I've got to have the weight.
What do I do with the wrench?
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Put it back where it goes.
Wow. We're back on the floor. Go ahead. Yeah, this was an old cheap, was it a Buffalo, I think? Rhinoceros? I don't know. I think I got it off. Well, it's an ATD, but it's a cheap ATD.
Yeah,
I think
everybody knows they make the best engine stands.
Right? I think I got this from Harbor Freight 20-some years ago. I had it in a box forever, never even used it, probably till we moved here 12 years ago. So I probably had it 10 years before that in a box. So it's back before Harbor Freight's quality was a little better than it was back 30 years ago, 25 years ago. But it's done the job. And for a bare block with the 413, that'll be fine.
Do you have a 9/16 socket? Well, I suppose we're pretty close.
Anyway. I said I should have one somewhere, but we probably have it done by the time I found it. Ooh, hold on a second.
We're getting some movement.
I think we may be a little forward. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's throw this bolt back in real quick, and let's move that chain forward. I wasn't paying attention to that when it may be too late.
It is a little bit.
It twisted, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, twisted.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that when
And I suppose we're really kind of trapped by the legs of this thing. We might want to. How about we move the picker and come around this way?
Yeah, I think we're okay. I just want to move that chain a little bit. Okay, you should be able to go ahead and let her down now. We'll move that chain forward.
Okay.
That was my bad.
Come on, get on there. There we go.
She's going to be a little wobbly, but we got that block in there. Okay, go ahead. Okay, that's got it. Yeah, I feel better with that now.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a big shift in it there. I got all of it.
Yep. If this stand was a little better, I would have done it north and south like this, but I don't like moving this motor on this stand. I felt like I took my life in my hands bringing it over this far from over there. But we had to get it out of the way so I could put the welder so we could put the drill press over there. So. I don't think you guys have ever seen this motor on the channel before because it's been buried over there under a pile of crap. But I think this is a 73 out of a C body, if I remember right. I could be wrong. Okay, we should be loose. So go ahead and take it up the rest of the way. Okay. I think
We're well past the center line there.
there we go now. Okay, good. Let's get it on that stand then.
Okay.
We should be able to pull her back. There we go. Okay, so Chris is getting them tightened down. We got our...
that bolt's a little bit too long.
okay, we
Another
put some
washer.
washers on it. Yep, there's some over here.
Let me get just a bit of a bite on one of these others to keep it locked there. Just a little bit light from making contact on that.
That may be a little bit on the bottom side, actually. I don't know if we can get that up higher or not.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to let Chris do the honors of putting it on there. That should do it.
That is so much easier.
You need to go up a little more? Probably just a little bit of that.
There we go. Thank you for showing me that.
Sure beats the heck out of trying to line those things up with the...
Yeah, it's just a drop pin. Okay. Okay, that seems to be about as good as it gets.
Okay. There it goes. It just had gunk in it.
And back down.
Seem okay?
Yeah.
Still wouldn't hurt to have a board on the front of that, would it?
Yeah, it's a little bit bouncy, but that might just be the stand.
Yeah, but let's, because we're going to be moving it around, let's cut a 2x4 to go in there or something. Just even between here, you know, just straight down to the pan rather than the crank like I had the other one. The other thing we should probably do is let's take these manifolds off. That's literally going to take off 100 pounds. Those things are so heavy. Guess what I forgot to do?
What's that? Oh, compressor.
Yeah.
Shall I?
Go ahead, by all means. Second one on the left-hand side, second one down. Okay, apparently it's pumped up, but it wasn't on, so. Thanks, Chris.
You know, we should make a latching relay and maybe put a light in the room so you can tell when it's on.
Unfortunately, we have about 3 weeks worth of work to accomplish in 2 days, so I don't know. All right, we got those 700-pound manifolds off of there. And just a note, I always try to stuff rags in an engine like this because what happens is mice will actually get in there and if the valve is open, they'll build little nests down in the cylinder and then they pee all over and it corrodes the crap out of a cylinder. Ask me how I know. So I just stuff some rags in there where I can keep an eye on it. And
Oh, how do you know?
how do I know?
You said ask me. How do you know?
How do I know? Because there's a couple engines around here that have super rusty cylinders from that very
Mice getting in through
getting in
an
and
open
peeing.
port.
So yes. So I've learned over the years to be more cautious about stuff like that. There's a little more.
That'll catch the harmonic balancer on the front, unless you want me to knock a bevel on this thing.
Yeah, why don't you? Because I want to be able to put a wrench on it once in a while and spin
that'll
it.
trap it behind the balancer too, so it can't step out.
Yeah, okay, go ahead and do that.
That's probably good. That's actually somewhat accurate. Yeah, that'll easily trap it underneath there.
Okay, good.
Let's make sure we're...
Yeah, that'll work. Even if it's touching a little bit, it's not going to spin it out. So
That'll be some support for it. Let's see how it holds up when we let it down.
good.
Yeah, now we just have to be careful not to kick that out of there when we move it.
Well, it's just for a little. I mean, that's an awful big motor. You know, it's an awful lot of weight there, even with those manifolds off. So just a little extra support. So it's, you know, it's a 1,000-pound stand, but I'm still thinking this thing weighs 600-700 pounds. So.
Yeah.
Well, we're making great progress. Got those big chassis stands. Put those in the corner there. For now, yeah, I can still get a car in here, so that's the main thing. We got to move the snowblower and the
Just a spot,
lawnmower in here, but that'll still leave us a stairway to get upstairs.
a spot for the cherry picker, but that'll get used most often back
Right, we
here.
can stick the cherry picker right inside that Hoover stand, my Tom Hoover engine stand. So, for those that don't know, there's an episode on it. That engine stand was from the Ramchargers race team. It was originally used in the Chrysler Turbine program. When all that disbanded, Tom Hoover took it home. It was given to him from Chrysler, and he had it for years, and then he gave it to me before he retired and moved out of state. So it's a sentimental piece for me, being as it came from Tom Hoover.
My wife Colleen is a big supporter of the channel, and she loves what you do and she loves watching it. And I asked her if she could make this, and she figured out how to do it. And there you go, open that up.
Towel.
Yeah. It's all wrapped up in there to keep it padded for the trip
Right.
up here.
Oh, that is awesome.
There's another one down below it that is a little bit thinner on the logo and a little bit more defined.
What's that made out of? How's she make it?
That's glass. It is fused glass.
Okay.
She has a friend who has kilns and has a whole studio in her basement, and they have a. It's called
That's
a
why
ring-
you were asking me about the font.
Yep. Yep, exactly. What she has is a ring saw that allows her to get in here and cut all of this. It has, basically it's a wire blade that's impregnated with diamond.
Okay.
So you can move in any direction.
Yeah.
So she can come in here and cut this and then come right back out and follow all of the curves to get all of the detail.
Yeah.
And then you lay it out on the kiln, and when you fire it, it all fuses together and bonds and flows. And
That's cool. I gotta figure out where to put it that I'm not gonna break it.
well, if you want, I can take it back and we can drill holes like here in the corners, or the other thing I was thinking is a piece of wood with a slot in it that I can just stand up in if you wanted it on a desk. It could be done with standoffs. It could be anything. The glass is drillable, cuttable with, I think carbide would do it, but I know diamond will.
Yeah.
But it could be all.
Yeah. I ought to ponder that a little bit, but those are cool. Thank you, Colleen. Awesome. That's really, really cool. Chris always comes bearing gifts of some kind or deals or stuff that he's found. So talk about what you got, where you got it.
Well, I went to Habitat for Humanity, and I've been actually walking past all this stuff for a couple of months now, and then remembered I saw Mike using a 7-inch grinder and thought, ooh. So I sent him a text, do you use 7-inch media? And he said yes. So I cleaned off everything that I could find. And since Habitat takes donations and does a resale shop, the Habitat for Humanity Restore,
Restore. Yep.
they always have great stuff there. They always have something. We go every Saturday morning. We might go out for breakfast, we might not, but we've got other things to do, and we make it a point of going by Habitat for Humanity and looking. And this is the kind of thing that if you're diligent about it, you can find. This is 130 grinding discs.
You said 136.
And 136 grinding discs, and oh geez, I mean these are 3 packs of 36 grit. These are 24 grit, and these are the flapper discs in 24. I think there's 20 of those. There's like 30 some out of these, and the whole thing. They were happy to give it to me. I think I paid 30 for this lot and 40 for this lot, and just doing some basic math. If you went to one of the big box stores, one of these things would be about $18. So for what it would have cost to buy those 4, we got all of this. And I can't use 7-inch, but I keep an eye out. I know you can. So
Yep.
Now you've got a whole pile of 7-inch media.
This will get used relatively quickly. That will take a long time to use, but it's here, and
But
it will
there's
definitely get used.
There's 1/8, 5/32. We've got some 16th here, and I think there's some .0 somethings. There's a pile of the really thin ones, if I remember right, down in here somewhere. It's like .062, something like that.
Yeah.
But they go down in size and up in size, and the really great thing is these things have a rating on them that they're good for stainless steel, which will usually either gum up or tear the bejesus out of a regular wheel.
Right.
These things, when you go to make the frame for the Golden Mullet, I'm thinking these things will get used a lot.
Yeah, but or even making the frame table.
Yeah,
So
because this will cut through stuff that
right, and just further than that, the drill press
yeah.
also.
The drill press came from Habitat for Humanity. The nice thing was, when I went in there and asked how much for it, the guy said, "For you, $100. I was going to sell it for 150, but since you're in all the time, you're a good customer, so he gave it to me for $100. Put a new set of belts on it. Wrote down the belt numbers right here. I cleaned up the whole pulley table, cleaned all of this down, lubed the quill. Everything is good here. I've had the Morse taper out of there. It's got a good chuck. I went out and got a good chuck key for it that's spring loaded, so it really wants to come out. And this came from an antique store. And the guy had a whole pile of tools. It was only like $20. It doesn't work on my little mini mill, but it'll work absolutely beautiful, and it's got the adjustments to make it into an angle vise. And the only thing I had to do was make this stop collar here to hold the top of the rack for the adjustment.
And you did that on your mill, right?
The mill and lathe, yeah.
Yep.
And that's probably the heaviest piece on here. It's just because that's what I had laying around.
Right. Probably was a plastic piece originally.
It was pot metal, but it had broke.
Okay.
But I used it at home. It's a great little piece, and now I've got a place to store it where.
Yeah, it's and like I said, we will test it regularly to be sure there's no problems with it. So we appreciate it.
But going to Habitat for Humanity, there are so many things. We go in there before we start a project. Whatever the project is, we go there. We've got an idea of what we want to do, right, but we go there and we look. And there have been many times where we found something different there that led us down a different path for that project, and we could pick it up for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
My welding bench, the ductwork, or 12-inch ductwork with 24-volt dampers already built in. I think I paid probably around $50 for the dampers, a pile of elbows, to the junctions to come out of a flat plate, all that stuff.
Right.
For nothing.
Right.
And they're happy to get rid of it and happy to have the money for it. And
right,
there's so many things. from building supplies, and they have shingles. They have just pallets of shingles that were donated, and you can go there and pick them up for pennies on the dollar, and they're happy to have the money and happy to have the. Actually, we've been joking with them that we always bring our donation stuff in, and that we drop our stuff off and take your stuff home with us.
Well, I think our rain is letting up, but we have one more little project we want to do here, and then we'll get back out on doing the roof on the steel storage building. We need to make a base for this so it's not rocking and rolling all night and partying every day. So let's get after that. One of our channel viewers is going to recognize what this is. We're repurposing it to make a base for the drill press. So I hope this wasn't your grandpa's pallet, but if it was, I'm sorry, buddy.
And by the way, if you're using a flat bar, grab yourself a piece of rag and some duct tape and wrap it as tight as you can right around here. When you're doing something like this, you can just go ahead and wail on the back of it just like it's a regular one, but when you're doing light, delicate work that you don't want to damage, this keeps that sharp knee from damaging your molding and trim work and stuff like that, but it's still useful for stuff like tearing the roof off an old shed.
So our base is done. Now we just need the guitar and the drums.
Try the veal, tip your waitress. Hang on, let's do it. Am I close enough?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
And if we did our dimensions right, it should be right about there, and that should give us a little bit of clearance to the wall.
Can you see the holes?
There should be a 1/4 inch back from the edge here.
You go grab those legs.
That should be center. Yeah, I think I see the holes down there.
Okay, and you need just 2 of these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you want the impact gun probably?
If you got a 1/2 inch,
I do.
1/2 inch, something that's rated for impact.
Let me, give me 20 or 30 minutes to find it.
Wow. That's a lot more solid than I thought it'd be.
Is it, how is it as far as this way? Not bad.
We're lifting the base, but
Right.
it's solid to the base, so when you're using it here and putting your force inside,
Right.
it's not going to waddle around.
And if we really, 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 really wanted to get crazy with it, we could always run some
Yeah.
ankle braces and some cement screws down in the front. So
I don't know that it's really necessary.
probably not.
But we got enough room to the back that
Right.
you can pass a hand back there, so lid's open and closed, and it's not going to be banging against the wall when you're running it.
You know, I do have some of those cement screws. Pretty sure.
I'd say try it the way it is to start with.
Okay.
And if for some reason you end up, walking the thing out the door while you're running it, well, then maybe
Well, it's screwed to the
consider-
wall, so that's not going to happen. But I'm just thinking about the.
Yeah, and you can see some of the flexes right here.
That's very true. Well, that bolts are tight.
Oh yeah, let's put a bite on those.
There you go, Duddy. He's using an awl wrench. I only own one. I don't know where he found it
Yeah, it was back there, but it was in a pile.
because I hate those things.
Yeah, they never really grab, and they always mar the edges. And yeah, you can see that's more solid.
Yeah. So if we wanted to really go crazy with it,
And I could probably, with the weight we've got on there now, I might be able to let this wedge down just a little bit. Let's see where. Yeah. I mean, this is flex in the base. It's not like it's waddling over a corner, but that should be good for.
yeah, for what we're doing, it's not like where we got to be concerned about things with the lathe. You know.
What's that line about good enough for the girls we go with?
You know, if our wives watch this, that's not going to be a good thing.
She doesn't watch every time.
I don't know that Becky ever watches, but
Oh, mine does.
oh yeah,
We'll sit down and watch and blow through them on a Sunday morning, and there.
good. Well, the rain stopped, so I think we can get back out and.
Yeah, let's finish up that roof.
All right, So it was raining. We took some time to get some organization here. And we put that set of shelves in over there so that we have some places to put different things we need for machining and so forth. Measurement tools will go in this little toolbox. He's got all the gear sets and jaws and things like that in there, extra cutters. So that's good. And it's going to be very nice to have the organization there like that. And good to go. Little by little, we're making progress. So our weather has cleared up finally again. So for the third time today, we're going to go back out and see if we can get some sheeting on the roof of that building out there where we are storing all of our metal. So there's all the old material, which you already saw in pictures. The old Cadillac. And we got to tighten up some fascia boards and things, but we're ready to throw our sheets on there now and get some rolled roofing on there and get that building sealed back up again. We've had this thing for a long time, and it's needed a roof for years. But we caught it in time to save it and get another 10, 20 years out of it. So we'll be back in a while after we get some material on there and go from there. So there we go. We've got most of the sheeting on the roof now, and things are looking pretty good. We got one little piece to put on there yet, but we're just about ready to put down the felt and get ready to put the rolled roofing on. So this is great progress for sure. And there we go, just like that. The sheeting is all done now, and we are ready to put down our tar paper and get the rolled roofing on. It's been an absolutely exhausting day because between things with all the rainstorms, we've been doing other projects in the shop and then coming back out here, but we're going to get her done now for sure. So all of our tar paper's laid out and our drip edges are installed. We're going to pre-cut the rolled roofing. And then just put it up there piece by piece. We'll need 4 pieces 10 feet long. So Chris is going to take some measurements just to be sure we're in good shape. And there we go. Other than Chris feeling like he had been beating his hands with a hammer, only because he had been beating his hands with a hammer, we made great progress. All that's left now is to put tar on the nails, which we need to get because I forgot to get some today, and glue some edges down and so forth. But this is huge progress on this building, and all the materials that are inside the building now will not deteriorate, and we will be in good shape. We are both absolutely exhausted, and I can't even begin to tell you just how exhausting a day it has been. We've accomplished so much, and it has been so incredible. I apologize for the voiceover, but we had audio issues. We weren't using the microphones, and our camera microphone was cutting in and out. And so we're just trying to give you, a good overview of what happened today, and we really feel like we've made good progress.